Name of the book is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. It published on 17 September 1954. Lord of the Flies have 12 chapters and 224 pages in book. The genre of book is allegorical and dystopian fiction. The themes of book are inner evil of the man, second breakdown of social order, and loss of innocence. A group of boys were on an unknown island located in the Pacific Ocean during the World War. They were on the island because the plane they were on crashed on an island and started their life there without adult supervision. They behave freely on the island to the extent that they are out of bounds and pollute the island. Their life that started with the rules became wild and divided according to the groups. They were interested in between the characters named Ralph and Jack. Protagonists are the fair-haired Ralph and his sidekick, a proprietor named Piggy. Then, Ralph befriended with Jack, but suddenly Jack became antagonist in the story. So what was initially thought of as a blissful escape from the adult world quickly develops into something more sinister and unsettling. Lord of the Flies is not just a book becoming independent, it holds a deeper, more subtle meaning to it, making the reader question what it really means to be immoral and the true meaning of evil. Lord of the Flies by William Golding managed to drop subtle hints in the story, start from a beginning and then more apparent as the book progresses and action turn from words to what could only be described as barbaric and bloody. Ralph is portrayed as having blonde hair and blue eyes, the perfect recipe for innocence. Ralph matures and realizes life is not all about how many friends you have and how popular you are.
Opponents in their story, The Lord of the Flies. Setting, place uninhabited tropical island. That early 20th century during a nuclear war. Point of view, third-person omniscience. Themes in their story is innate evil of man, breakdown of social order, and the last is loss of innocence. Plot story have introduction of time carrion of a group of young British boys crash lands on an uninhabited tropical island. Rising action, there is speculation that the beast is on the island and the boys become fearful. Climax story, Piggy is killed by Jack Trick. Falling action, Ralph attempts to hide from Jack Trick, who wants to kill him. In the conclusion, the naval officer shows disapproval.
Lord of the Flies tells about Ralph and a group of other men and children who are stuck on the uninhabited island. Ralph tries his best to help them all to get off the island with the help of security officers, but in the end, many of them forget their purpose as a result of their enjoyment of hunting animals until there is a murder among them. Secondly, who were the main characters? The main characters of this story is Ralph, the only one who wants to be free from the uninhabited island. Thirdly, were the characters credible? For me, it's Ralph and Piggy. Ralph who leads a mission to rescue them from an uninhabited island. Piggy who follows Ralph's plans and advises Ralph. Next, what did the main character do in this story? Ralph is the primary representative of other civilization and productive leadership in the novel. Ralph sets about building huts and thinking of ways to maximize their chance of being rescued. Ralph has strong civilization and morals, and his main desire is to be saved from the uninhabited island. Next, did the main characters run into any problems? Adventures. Ralph is abandoned by his allies and his allies follow Jack. He also built a shelter but failed because there was no cooperation from others. Next, it is difficult to direct the members of his group because there is a hunting desire in Jack that affects others. Lastly, as a result of attacking Jack's fortress, his friend died. Lastly, who was your favorite character and why? My favorite character in this novel is Ralph. This is because he fought to save them all from the island. In addition, he also did not give up hope to achieve his goal even though he faced various problems. For example, drifting into a hunting frenzy, abandoned by his group, and attacked by Jack and his allies.
Personal Experience Chapter 9. Simon tries to tell a group of teenage boys that the body they see hanging from a tree is not a monster. It is the body of a paratrooper who has died abandoned and hung from a tree. Simon effort to tell what others say is not the same as what Simon saw, and Simon wanted to tell the others so that the others wouldn't feel scared and anxious, even though Simon himself feel anxious about what he faced and did before knowing that it wasn't a monster. Through those situations, I used to explain and solve things that no one else saw with what I saw. It's not easy because I try to be a good person and explain the bad things they see are not true. For example, everyone will have a good or bad preconception about what they hear or see about me, but trying to explain that we are good people is difficult. So as the saying goes, don't judge by its cover. Be a person who is calm and try to see the truth. Me, I like the story of the Lord of the Flies because it gives pleasure to the reader because each character in the story has a different character and the storyline is easy to understand. Besides Simon, the most important scene in the novel and one that has attracted the most attention from critics other than Roger is our least favorite character. This is because Roger is the same in the novel, the one who enjoys hunting orders. Lastly, Jack begins the novel as a somewhat arrogant and cowboy who cries when he is not elected leader of the island. Jack is gradually transferred into a vicious killer who has no respect for human life.
I would like to recommend the book Lord of the Flies to teenagers, both boys and girls, because Lord of the Flies is a classic for a reason. It's well worth a read and really quite readable as classics go. Teenagers who like adventure and mystery should certainly try this classic. If you like your books to have gripping and believable characters with a plot second to none, then Lord of the Flies is for you. I can promise that you'll finish the book left with a new fresh outlook on the world around you and perhaps a thought as to what exactly Lord of the Flies is about. Indeed, its inner meaning is very dark, making the reader wonder how thin the line between good and evil really is. So, if you're looking for a short classic book to get yourself into reading classic, then Lord of the Flies is a great book to start with.